Good morning, students. Hope all of you are safe. And today you attended your live classes also. Hope that was beneficial for you, right? So, beta, in yesterday's video we discussed the topic, the integration of cults, and we discussed the difference and conflict and poems of prayer. These topics I discussed in yesterday's video. So the today's topic is the Alvars and Nayanars of Tamil Nadu. Now, who were Alvars? Beta, these Alvars, these were the people who were devotee of Lord Vishnu. Those were known as Alvars. And Nayanars, they were the devotees of Lord Shiva. So, and these Alvars and Nayanars, they traveled from place to place singing hymns in Tamil in praise of their gods. And while they were moving from place to place, beta, they were traveling from place to place, these Alvars and Nayanars, they identified certain shrines as abodes. Beta, abodes hota hai the very important place of their chosen deities. So very often whatever places were chosen by these devotees, their large temples were built and they became the sacred places. Now, and even these developed as centers of pilgrimage. Beta, here so many poet saints also became part of these temple rituals. Means singing composition. Like आपने सुना है कि जैसे आपने भजन सुनते हो, आप आरती सुनते हो, those are also kind of religious composition. So these type of singing composition by their poet saints, that became the part of temple ritual. उनका वो tradition बन गया. And even the saints' images were also worshipped. So this was about the Alvars and Nayanars. And now the next topic is with the attitude towards caste. What was their attitude towards the caste system? Beta, these Alvars and Nayanars, they initiated a movement. They started a movement against the caste system and also against the dominance of Brahmins. They initiated towards the reform the system, and even why they started this, because different bhaks, different devotees, they were from the diverse social backgrounds. They all are not from the higher society. So that is why these devotees, they were from the Brahmins also, artisans also, cultivator also, and even some were from the lower caste. Those were considered as untouchable also. That is why they protested against the caste system. Means everybody should have the right to pray, to worship his deity. So these Alvars and Nayanars, and even they indicated that their composition, whatever they compiled, that were also important as Vedas. Means जो भी उन्होंने उनके literary composition थे, those were also important as the Vedas are important for the societies. So that is why one of the major anthologies होता है बेटा collection of songs, that is the composition by the Alvars, the Nalaira Divya Prabandham. The name of this composition is Nalaira Divya Prabandham. It was frequently described as the Tamil Veda. So sometimes question can be asked that which composition is known as the Tamil Veda. So our answer will be Nalaira Divya Prabandham. So even this text was as significant as the four Vedas in Sanskrit that were cherished by the Brahmins. जैसे कि हमें सभी पता है, हम सबको पता है कि चार वेद है, and those are very important in Hindu religion. So the same importance was given to this Tamil Veda also. Now like अभी हमने पढ़ा कि जो ये अलवर और नायनार्स थे, उनका एटीट्यूड क्या था कास्ट सिस्टम के लिए. सो द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज अबाउट द वुमेन डिवोटीज. हमने पहले पढ़ा था कल इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ कल्ट में, दैट women were not allowed. So Brahmins, they were opposed for women and lower caste people. But now these Alvar and Nayanar, their women devotees were also there. Beta, so the most important feature of these tradition was the presence of women. Like example is given, the composition of Andal, a woman Alvar, were widely sung and even continue to be sung to date. Means this woman and Andal, her composition was known as Andal, and at that time also those were sung, and at present also these are sung. So, and this Andal saw herself as the beloved of Vishnu, and her verses, whatever she has written, that express her love for the deity, वो उनके जो भगवान के लिए उनकी प्यार को दिखाता था. So another woman, Carmichael Amir, a devotee of Shiva, adopted the path of extreme asceticism in order to attain her goal. बेटा asceticism होता है self discipline for religious purpose. And even composition of her was also preserved within the Nayanar tradition. तो अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा कि there was very important composition in the Alvar tradition also and in the Nayanar tradition also, and even their existence and their composition, they posed a challenge to the patriarchal norms. बेटा patriarchal norms होते हैं the society that is controlled by men. So it posed a challenge to the men also at that time. So this was about the Alvar and Nayanars and what was their attitude towards caste and the women devotees. Continuing the same topic, बेटा, the next one is the relation with the state. अभी जो ये लोग थे Nayanars and Alvars, so उनका स्टेट के साथ जो डिफरेंट रूलर्स थे उनके साथ किस टाइप का रिलेशन था, दिस वी विल रीड इन दिस टॉपिक. बेटा, even in the second half of the first millennium, there is evidence for states, including those of the Pallavas and Pandyas. आपने पल्लवास और पांड्यास की रूल के बारे में सुना है. So that was the evidence for states. While Buddhism and Jainism had been prevalent in this region for several centuries and drawing support from merchant and artisans communities, and these religious traditions received occasional royal patronage. It means at that time Buddhism and Jainism were also there, those were prevalent, but they didn't get any kind of support from the merchant and artisans. Now, one of the major themes in Tamil Bhakti hymns is the poet's opposition to Buddhism and Jainism. Means that is very interesting fact कि whatever major themes were there in Tamil Bhakti hymns, the poet they were opposed to Buddhism and Jainism. That is why they didn't support this. And even this is particularly marked composition of the Nayanars. Means even the composition of Nayanars, they were also against the Jainism and Buddhism. But even historians, they have attempted to suggest that it was due to competition between members of other religious traditions for royal patronage. It means between different bhakti tradition also there was competition, and every bhakti tradition or every religious tradition, they needed royal patronage, they needed royal help. That is why competition was there. If we see that this thing is very interesting, that the powerful Chola rulers in 9th to 13th centuries, they supported Brahmanical and Bhakti traditions, making land grants and constructing temples for Vishnu and Shiva. बेटा जो साउथ इंडिया के जो टेम्पल्स हैं, वेरी फेमस टेम्पल्स, दोज वर बिल्ड बाय द चोला रूलर बिकॉज दे वर सपोर्टर्स ऑफ द ब्रह्मैनिकल एंड द भक्ति tradition. And in fact, some of the most magnificent Shiva temples, including the Chidambaram, Tanjore, and Gangai Konda Cholapuram, were constructed under the patronage of Chola ruler. So here also, if the question is there that which all temples were constructed under Chola rulers, so we can write this. And even this was also the period when the representation of Lord Shiva in bronze sculpture were produced. Means इस टाइम पे लॉर्ड शिवा की ब्रॉन्ज की मूर्तियां भी बनाई गई थी. And it also there was the vision of Nayanas that inspired the artist, because these Nayanas, they were the devotees of Lord Shiva, so that is why it inspired the artist just to frame the sculpture of Lord Shiva in bronze. Both Nayanas and Alvars, they were revered by the Velala peasants, because rulers tried to win their support as well. The Chola king often attempted to claim divine support and proclaim their own power and status by building splendid temples, and they were adorned with stone and metal sculpture to recreate the vision of these popular saints who sang in the language of the people. It means these Chola kings, they also wanted the support of the people. Whosoever people, they were the devotees of these Alvar and Nayanas. और अगर ये चोला किंग उनको फेवर करके वो टेम्पल्स बना रहे थे, दैट इज वाई जो वो लोग हैं जो डिवोटीज हैं अलवर और नयानर्स के, so they will also be in the favor of Chola ruler. That is why they built the magnificent temples. And even these kings, these Chola kings, also introduced the singing of Tamil Sheva hymns in the temples under royal patronage, and even they taking the initiative to collect and organize them into a text. These Chola kings, whatever the hymns were sung in the temples, they just collected and organized them in the text. And even inscriptional evidence from around 945 suggests that the Chola ruler Prantaka had consecrated metal images of Apar, Sambandar and Sundarar in a Shiva temple. Means it was showing their wealth also, that they are just building the magnificent temple, and they are fixing the bronze sculpture over there. And even all these sculpture, these were carried out in the procession. जो आपकी जैसे रथ यात्रा के बारे में कल बात हो रही थी, तो इस टाइप के जो भी प्रोसेशंस होते हैं, जो जुलूस टाइप होते हैं, तो एट द टाइम ऑफ दोज फेस्टिवल दीज स्कल्पचर वर टेकन आउट ऑफ दोज टेम्पल्स. So beta, this was the topic about the Alvar and Nayanas, that what is meaning of Alvar and Nayanas and what was their attitude towards caste, and like they included the women devotees also, and how they were related with the state to get the royal patronage. So beta, this was the topic about today. Thank you and have a nice day.